Hey, what's up YouTube? It is Melanie back with Melanie Loves Death Metal. I've got a CD death metal collection update today. A lot of good stuff that I recently got in the mail these last couple of days. I'm going to pre-record a bunch of videos today and post them up this week. I was able to find time today into my schedule to do that. I've got tons of new stuff to show, from tapes, vinyls, and CDs. So today will be dedicated to just CDs. Tomorrow I'll probably have tapes, and then Wednesday we'll probably have vinyl. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So I recently got a fairly big Amazon gift card through my work. It was some program that I did, and I got a gift card as like a thank you. And I scoured it for quite a while, trying to debate on what I wanted to spend it on, and I just decided to get a bunch of CDs. I was gonna go for vinyl, but I've had some bad luck with vinyl on Amazon, so I chose to go with CDs. And so I got a bunch of new CDs in, and some came in this weekend, some are still coming in later this week. So the first things first is, and it's hard to believe that I didn't have this in my collection yet, because I absolutely love this band, and they just announced a new album in September, so I'm super excited about that. And that is Aborted with Terrorvision. So Aborted is a band out of Belgium. They're currently signed to Century Media, and this is their 10th full-length album. So they have a bunch of albums out there. Yeah, I mean, it is, you know, it's brutal death metal, it's death metal, and I just feel like it's a pretty iconic band. A lot of people know them, they're very popular. So again, I don't know what took me so long to get their stuff in my collection, but this specifically is a fantastic album. I love the artwork on this album. It's just a 3 digipack or whatever the hell you call it, and it's got really cool artwork on it. But yeah, this band is fantastic. Like I said, I have always really enjoyed them. Just pretty much everything they've put out over the years, I've always been a fan of, and this one is probably one of my favorite records that they put out in a while. So yeah, I really love the artwork on this. So yeah, like I said, they have 10 other albums. I think I have maybe 2 other albums in my collection. And I know, like, on CD anyway, that I've had for years, and that is Global Flatline is one of them, and then the other one is the Necrotic Manifesto. So the Necrotic Manifesto is admittedly when I actually started listening to them, so that admittedly is probably one of my favorite albums by them. So I still need to get all of their other albums. It's just, you know, it's a lot, so we'll slowly get there. But again, I absolutely love the artwork for this specific album. I've seen Aborted live several times, just in like festivals and stuff that they've been opening up for certain bands, and they're fantastic. So again, they have a new CD coming out in September, or sorry, a new album I should say, and I'm pumped about that. They recently released an EP, was it this year? No, it was last year, called La Grande Masquerade, and that's a very good EP. I actually ordered that, so that's one of the things that I'm waiting to come. So yeah, Aborted Terrorvision, I feel like this needs no introduction. So many people already know about that band. So all right, and so then the next thing I ordered is I kind of scoured to see what they had available for Unique Leader. Unique Leader has been pumping out some really great stuff lately, and so I just went on there to see what they had available, listened to them on like Spotify and Bandcamp and stuff to see if I liked it, and I got it. So that's pretty much, I don't really know much about these bands outside of what I researched and listened to. This is the first time I had ever heard them, the first thing I ever owned from them. So and side note, it seems like Unique Leader finally put up all of their albums on Bandcamp. I guess that was something that people were like dying to happen, and you can buy the digital copies of it, I believe, now. So just something I learned this past week. So anyway, the first one that I got is, and I'm probably gonna butcher the name of this band, Xenobiotic. I think that's how you say it. Marois Lewandowski's artwork right here, iconic. I'm sure everybody knows or recognize that art style, and I probably butchered your first name. I'm so sorry. I'm so bad with that stuff. So yeah, this is like tech death, kind of deathcore sounding a little bit. Not too deep into the deathcore, but again, it's got the Lewandowski artwork all over. So that was immediately one of the big selling points for this album for me is I saw that and I recognized it, and so I went and listened to the band and I really liked it. So, and the brushstrokes on the CD right there. So, band out of Australia, this is their second full length. And like I said, immediately, I had never heard this band up until now. So it's a very good album and I am really glad that I got it. So again, I just love his artwork. Bell Witch is probably one of my favorite pieces that he's ever done. And then Atramentus is another album artwork that he's done. So yeah, really good band. Check them out if you're looking for something a little bit different. Like I said, it's got a little bit of a deathcore vocal sound, but for the most part, it's tech death. And I enjoy it. There's a lot of elements to it. There's some nice pieces. And the album's name is Mordrake, I think is how you say that. So yeah, there you go. And then the second album that I got in that package, I fell in love with this album, and I've listened to it every day since I've gotten it. Some people that watch this channel might not really enjoy it too much because it is pretty deathcore sounding, but there's some other elements to it that make it really interesting and really good for me. So this is the new Mental Cruelty, A Hill to Die Upon. This is their third full-length album, and again, it's on Unique Leader. So admittedly, I had no idea who Mental Cruelty was, and I saw that artwork and I judged it by the cover, and I went and I listened to it on Spotify, and I was like, this is really good. So it's kind of like a blackened, brutal death metal. There's a lot of elements in there, but the first several songs sound like a blackened black metal, death metal song, especially with the trem picking that they have in the very first song, Ultima Hypocrita. I don't know. Anyway, the band is out of Germany, so not a US band, but this is a really, really good album. The singer is insane. He does some shit with his vocals that are just insane. Again, like I said, it's got that brutal death metal sound. There's a little bit of deathcore sound to it, but a really nice gatefold digipack. And just, yeah, like I said, I think this is a fantastic album. Completely sold by this band now. I've been listening to it nonstop ever since I got it a couple of days, and just, yeah, it's different. It's refreshing. You know, it's different from what I generally listen to in terms of like underground death metal or the blackened death metal that I typically do. So a really nice lyric book. Just, that's pretty much all it is. I was hoping I didn't think there was a picture of the band. No, there's not. So again, Mental Cruelty, really, really good album. So if you're in the mood for kind of like a, I don't know, different type of style of death metal that's somewhat deathcore sounding, but not fully deathcore sounding, because as you guys know, like, I'm not the biggest fan of deathcore, and I've talked about that several times on this channel, but there have been exceptions to the rule, and there have been bands that I've actually really enjoyed, and these are definitely two of them right there, up there, along with a couple of other bands I've talked about on here. So, but there's definitely more tech death sound and definitely more of a brutal death metal sound with like hints of black metal. I guess the lead singer is a huge black metal fan, so that might be part of it. So, all right, that was my Amazon haul. And the next CD that I got is, so I was trying to get this on vinyl, and apparently it's incredibly just overpriced in terms of retail. Or resale, I should say. I haven't been able to find it on vinyl since. So Indie Merch did this big Memorial Day weekend sale where I think like things were like 25% off with the code. So I went over there and I scoured it, and I got their second full-length album on vinyl, which I showed in a collection update last week. But I went and snagged their first album on CD, and this is Afterbirth, The Time Traveler's Dilemma. So this is their first full-length, just again on Unique Leader, but I did not get this through Amazon. Like I said, I got it through Indie Merch. Just, you know, brutal progressive brutal death metal. This album is really, really good, and I do hope that I can get it on vinyl someday, but for now I settled with the CD. It was just a dirt cheap price, like I said, because of the sale that was going on. Just a, you know, flip out lyrics, nothing crazy, some nice space artwork. So yeah, Afterbirth is one of those newer favorite bands that I absolutely love now. I'm glad that I found them. glad they're on my radar. Like I said, Unique Leaders ultimately, when I saw they were out on here, I scoured to try to find more bands that they had on their label. So CD looks pretty cool. So really good. And hopefully I'll be able to get this on vinyl someday. Band is from New York, by the way. I know people like to know where they're from. So really, really good album. Definitely check this out. And then their second album is incredible as well. So, all right. So in the next CD that I actually have had this for several weeks now, and I forgot to put it in my collection update a while back. So I found it sitting in the stack because I had been listening to it, and I was like, oh, I forgot to talk about this. So a little bit of backstory about this. I had no idea this band existed. No clue. I saw Mike from Barbaric Brutality post on Instagram about this band where they were blatantly ripped off by some rapper or some designer. Basically, they ripped off their logo. And it was all over Instagram about it, and I was reading about it, and it was a blatant ripoff. And I guess this designer slash rapper was like, oh, like you can't rip off font. And it's like, no, somebody actually designed that logo. So I don't really know where the story has gone from there. I just know that the band was really trying to pursue them to take down their stuff, but they designed like this sweatshirt, and they've been making a ton of money off of it. Like it's insanely expensive, and people are buying it. Some really popular rapper, I believe. I've never heard of them, so unfortunately I don't have the name or anything like that. I'm not going to even talk about who it was. But so I went and listened to the band after I saw that, and I was like, this is really good, so I bought the album. So long story short, good thing out of that whole issue was that I ended up buying the album from them, and they have a new fan. So this is Traumatomy, I think that's how you say their name. And this is their album. I forgot what it's called. Oh yeah, Extirpation Paradigms, I think is how you pronounce it. I butchered that. So Traumatomy, this is their third full-length album. This is on Gorehouse Productions. So Gorehouse Productions has a really nice site with a bunch of good stuff. So again, it exposed me to Gorehouse Productions, it exposed me to this band. The artwork is just incredible. So this is pretty much like brutal death metal, slam sounding, very good stuff. So like I said, I had never heard of them before, so if anybody has heard of them, I apologize, but some really cool artwork right there. And I believe half the band is either in Japan and the other half is in Russia, or maybe the full band is in Russia now, but just really good stuff. And hopefully these guys, you know, they win the battle of that. But apparently that logo was, for the most part, just completely blatantly ripped off. So you hate to see that shit. So yeah, check this band out, give them your support. Hopefully, you know, good comes of all that logo stuff. But from what I saw, like, the people were being big pains in the asses about it, refusing to take down the merch, and pretty much saying like, oh, you can't, we didn't steal your logo, you can't claim a font. And it's like, that's not a font. Like, somebody legitimately drew that logo for this band. It even credits the artist in the booklet. Like, so people need to understand a little bit more about death metal and metal bands as a whole and how that shit works. So again, really good stuff, and definitely check this out. And then finally, the final CD I have to talk about today is, I got this off of Stump Grinder's new distro. So he's got some distro items up there. I used it to lump in with a tape order that I did, which I've already shown on the channel a couple weeks ago. And again, admittedly, I forgot that I had this. It was just sitting in a stack of CDs that I hadn't listened to yet. So I pulled it out this weekend and I listened to it. And this is Goreatorium with their album Homicidal Ideation. So Goreatorium is brutal death metal, as you can see. Band out of California, and this is their first full length. I admittedly had never really heard them. I saw this on Stump Grinder's website, and I was like, you know what, I'll snag it off of him. And from what I understand, this might be a self-release. There's no label credited to it. So very violent death metal. Definitely a little bit of a Cannibal Corpse vibe to it, just in terms of, you know, the lyrics and stuff like that. But artwork is really cool. Their logo is really cool. That's the band right there. So yeah, it's the artwork, and the whole artwork throughout this whole entire is pretty cool. There's somebody hit by a truck. Somebody with a gun to his mouth. You know, I think you get the hint. So, Goreatorium. And admittedly, I bought a massive music collection that I've been slowly selling off on my distro page, getting through it. I've been picking out duplicates that I already have and stuff that I don't want to keep. And admittedly, there was another one of these in that collection. So I'll probably throw the extra one up there for sale. So if anybody's looking for this, you can get it through me or you can get it through Stump Grinder. I don't care either way, but I'll sell it for super cheap. So yeah, Goreatorium, good stuff. So a lot of good stuff in this haul. Just been really pumping up the CDs lately. I've been enjoying buying them again. They're just a nice quick pop into the player. Don't have to worry about bending the jackets or smudging the vinyl and stuff like that. So it's been fun collecting CDs again. And I have quite a bit now compared to what I first started off when I pulled them all out of storage and stuff. So, but like I said, I have several more coming these next couple of days that I got through Amazon. I ordered a couple from a couple other distros and labels. So if you haven't yet, check out my last video that I posted last week on Frozen Scream's imprint. I noticed that the views are not as high, which, you know, I kind of was expecting that. I've noticed a lot of people generally care more about the collection updates. So it makes sense. Everybody likes to see what new stuff you get added into the collection, especially the vinyls. People really go off about the vinyls. So, but check that out. Give that label a chance. Go over there to Bandcamp. Listen to a lot of the stuff that they have up. I just recently bought several tapes that are going to be released this summer. So it's the Frozen Scream summer for me. I think I have like 3 or 4 on pre-order. So really excited about the new Weeping, really excited about the new Mortuary Hammer, Bog Monster, all those bands I talked about in that video. So definitely go over there, check out that video, give Frozen Scream some love. They definitely deserve it. A couple people have actually private messaged me on Instagram and said, hey, like, you should do this label, you should do this label. So some people really liked it and they gave me some label suggestions. So I'll probably have another one out next week. Definitely appreciate all the suggestions and especially all the support that I've been getting lately. So thank you so much as always. And like I said, these are gonna be pre-recorded, so there'll be more this week. But thank you guys so much and enjoy your Monday.